Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you back with me. I am doing a requested video, and that video is covering my 2018 goals, both on the personal side and the professional side. So let's get started. I usually try to pick 3 things on each side that I'm going to focus on. 3 is kind of a number for me. I think I talked about at the beginning of 2017 that I was reading my scripture in my Bible, and God only really tried to do 3 things in one day. So I'm definitely no stronger and no more powerful than the Lord Almighty. And so I try and limit myself to 3 things a day, and probably more realistically, 2 to get done. So that same rule applies for my goals on either side of the fence, whether it's personal or professional. I really do try and be realistic, and I really do try and set meaningful goals. So with that, let's just dive right into it. One goal is going to be enveloped with a bit of an unboxing, so to speak. So on the personal side, I definitely have health goals, probably like 90% of the population. I would like to lose weight. I've gained a little bit of weight. I gained about 10 pounds over my heaviest weight during the course of 2017, and I definitely want to get that off. I actually started this in December, really in earnest. I think toward the end of the fall, I was pretty burned out over all of the activities associated with relocating across the country, starting a new job. There was just a lot going on in my life, and I just needed a break. So I took a break and really started in early to mid-December on just reining in my health and fitness goals. And so that first goal is to lose weight, and I want to lose actually a considerable amount of weight, which is about 40 pounds. We'll see. I mean, that might be a little bit too much, but for now, that's my goal. That gets me back to a weight that I was a while ago, and one where I felt more comfortable in my skin. The way that I'm doing that is I am trying to eat clean. So I have a very specific, not meal plan, but just intention for the things that I'm going to eat. I'm one who can eat the same breakfast every single day. I might change it up a few times a year, but usually breakfast I'm in good shape. But lunch I really struggled with. And so I decided to subscribe to a meal plan called Fresh and Fit Cuisine. It's specific to here in the Atlanta area, but there are lots of them available nationwide. And essentially, it is prepared meals, but they're healthy, they're balanced, and they're restricted to a certain calorie count. So for me, I subscribe to right now the healthy mix. I've tried the low carb, and that just was not filling me up enough. I am just naturally a muscular person, and I tend to put on a lot of muscle first, and it just wasn't feeding my muscle. So I moved to a healthy mix, which is keeping me a lot more satiated and fuller for much longer. Hey guys, I thought I'd follow up since, again, somebody asked about what I was eating. So have you ever seen like meal prep that looks like this? You know, pre-packaged meal prep. I mean, I put them in my own dishes, but look at how fresh that salad is and how good the dressing looks. And I'm not even a balsamic vinaigrette type of person, but theirs is really good. So I've got a spinach salad with, as you can see, a little carrot and onion. It's a pretty simple salad. And then a piece of salmon over penne pasta and a lemon dill sauce. So it looks super yummy. Fresh and Fit Cuisine, and by the way, I am not sponsored by them, has a variety of different meal types that you can choose from. This is the healthy mix, but I've tried the low carb before. I think they have vegetarian, vegan, and their menus are always amazing. I have yet to eat something I don't like from there. So, yeah, if you want more information about that, or if you want to see like what a week's worth of meals look like, please do let me know. But I do highly recommend this service. And like I said, this averages out because I order a month at a time. I don't receive them a month at a time, but I commit to a month at a time. So it's about $11 per meal, which, hey, I mean, you can't do much better than that. So, yep, that's it for now. I'm going to go enjoy this. I definitely need that carb content. So I really, really love their service. I'm not sponsored by them, and I've shown a couple of meals on my videos. Hopefully you will have seen them so far, but they're just delicious. They're well made, they're fresh. I've got variety, and that's been really, really helpful. The next thing on the movement side, because of course you want to eat less or eat more sensibly and move more and create a calorie deficit, I have been going to Orange Theory. I started out going twice a week, and I recently added a third time a week, and I absolutely love it. The concept of the type of workout that Orange Theory gives you is not a new one to me. As a matter of fact, when I work myself out, I tend to do a similar workout, but I do the same one over and over again, and I get bored, and I just get tired of it. The nice thing about Orange Theory is you go in, it's a group setting, which some like, some don't. I actually like it, and they think of the workout for you. So it's different every day. It's a combination of treadmill work, rower, and weight floor. So you might be doing TRX bands or body weight type exercises or even free weight type exercises. And I really, really love it. My goal eventually is going to be to add in a fourth day of the week, because it's just that good. You burn a ton of calories. They have responsive technology where you can see where your heart rate is, and your goal is to accumulate a certain amount of fit points. I can't say enough about it. I absolutely love it. A friend of mine recommended it to me probably back in September, October timeframe. I checked it out, and she was absolutely right. I love it. The second exercise that I'm doing is Pilates. And Pilates, I would say, is a combination of yoga and very challenging, very slow moving strength exercises. You're on a machine called a reformer, or I think the one that I use is called the mega reformer. I don't know if there's a difference between the two, but it's a practice. And I am telling you, my body is shaking every time that I do it, and I'm completely challenged. I had very terrible, and still am developing, my core strength, and that's the key to preventing injuries and just getting the most out of your exercise. So I've definitely made improvements. I can already see my body changing, and I will probably do Pilates for the rest of my life. I was talking to a woman in class the other day, and she was close to 60 years old, and she looked amazing. I mean, just right, tight, lean, just long muscles. And I was just like, wow, you look great, and you are goals. So those are the things that I'm doing to lose weight. Now, before I forget, this came in the mail, and if you recognize this little symbol, you will know that it's from Lululemon. I have been wearing Lululemon now for years, probably for at least 10 or 11 years, before they really, really, really got super popular. And I have found that no matter how much weight I lose or gain, my bottoms still fit. So that's nice. I do have to usually adjust the top, because my body type is, when I lose weight, I tend to get very lean on top, and I'm almost straight up and down. And like, there's not a lot of difference between my bust, my waist, and my hips. I'm just very straight up and down. So I just lose all my boobs. And then I am thicker on the bottom. So the smallest I will ever be on the bottom, period, dot, is a size 10 or a generous size 8. So in Lululemon, I wear a size 12. And when I'm leaner, I go down to a 10. But I generally don't venture into an 8. And their bottoms, while they are an investment, I would say they range from about $98 to just over $100, maybe $110. I have had Lululemon pants for, as a matter of fact, my oldest pair of pants I bought right after I had my daughter, and she will be 7 in November. So that just gives you an idea of the longevity. So you can go elsewhere and replace them often and spend about as much and probably a little bit more in the same period of time, or you can invest in Lululemon, which I recommend. So the other day I was in Lululemon, and I saw these leggings, and I wear size 12 in Lululemon, but I just thought the print was so cool, and I love the way these fit. This particular style is called the Wonder Under High Rise Tight, and here is, oh, ring light, why do you vex me so? this is the tag information. They're $98, but again, you know, I will have these for a really, really long time. I like that they're a darker color. I usually like to wear darker on the bottom just because I find it more flattering on my figure. But love, love, love these. I saw these in the store. They didn't have my size, so they ordered them, and they just came this week. So that's goal number 1, and I'm going to try and speed up so this is not too long of a video. Goal number 2 on the personal side is to travel more with my family and create more routines, or a friend called them, what are they, rituals? So growing up, you know, my family definitely provided the best they could. We had everything we needed and a few of the things we wanted, but there wasn't a lot of room for extras. I'm one of 4 kids. My father did, you know, physical labor for a living, so it's not like we were just bringing in the boatload. If he didn't work, he didn't get paid. And so while we did travel a little bit, usually associated with sports or a family reunion, you know, we really, besides a trip to New York, and then when I was 16, one to Florida to go to Disney, we really didn't go a lot of extra places, which was fine. I definitely did not miss out on that front. My parents exposed me to quite a bit, and that exposure has had a lot to do with my success. But I want to travel more with my family. And so I started out this year by putting some solid travel plans on the agenda. And I am related to this YouTube channel, trying to decide whether I'm going to do a vlog. The concept really terrifies me for 2 reasons. One is I'm pretty shy about having my camera out, and I'm not a shy person, but I just find it to be, I've tried to vlog in the past, and I'm actually thinking about doing a compilation of like mini vlogs that I've done in the past and uploading it so you can see. But it's just a very different thing to get used to. And second, I want to be in the moment with my family and my kids and enjoying that. But anyway, there's travel on the books, and I'll just take you through a few of the things that we're going to do. So we are planning a trip to Madrid. That's actually on the books. That's paid for. That's done. My son turns 13 this year, and so he's requested to go to Hawaii. So we're going to take him to Oahu for a long birthday weekend. He's in the other room smiling about that. We are going with some friends to the Bahamas, which I've never actually spent any extended period of time in the Bahamas. I've been there as a stop on a cruise, but never just as a destination. So that's exciting. I do have a trip to Paris planned for work, and I might extend it a day or so for personal side of things. We always go skiing in Lake Tahoe for Thanksgiving, so that's on the plan. And then I would really, really love for my husband and I, for our anniversary, to go to Cuba. We started to last year, but just things got in the way. And now that the travel restrictions are open and you can go for educational and tour purposes, I would really love to do that before technology and I guess you would call it northernization and all of that set in. So that is on the travel side. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in a vlog. I think with you guys' support, I could muster up the courage to do it. But it's a combination of just feeling weird with my camera and also mindfulness, because honestly, I forget because I'm so in the moment. The next thing is, the last goal that I have for myself is around connecting with friends and self-care. So I have a very specific and intentional goal to check in with people that I care about. I tend to get super busy, and it's not that I don't love them. It's not that I don't think about them. It's not that I don't care. It's just that by the time I think about it, it is 10 o'clock at night and way too late to call somebody and just say, hey, how you doing? So I'm going to work on getting those things scheduled and on the calendar, because I have a handful of friends and they mean everything to me, and I've had them for a very long time. I'm definitely a quality over quantity type of girl. And a lot of times when I reconnect with my friends, I find that I've missed so much because I've just been so busy with work and kids and all of that. And then the second thing is just checking in with myself, just to make sure that I'm good on a day-to-day basis. And basically what that means is stopping in the moment and just doing a self-check to say, how's your breathing? Are you doing something right now that serves you and moves you towards certain goals that you have? And I think that will tie into everything in terms of being intentional about how I spend my money and my time. I just think that this is a linchpin goal to say, before, I eat something, is this really what your body needs? Is this in line and consistent with your plans? Or is this a planned splurge? Is this a planned cheat meal and set it off, go do what you do? So that covers it for the personal side. On the professional side, I have also 3 goals, and we'll just jump right into those goals. You will be surprised to hear goal number 1. And I will explain a little bit more after I say it, but it's around punctuality. So in general, I'm a punctual person. I made a career tips video, which I will link below. And I talked about the fact that I try to get to work 30 minutes before my first meeting because I hate rushing into a meeting. It allows me to get collected, look at my calendar, check out my email, see if there's anything on fire, and connect with my team. But I do spend most of my day in meetings. It is meeting to meeting to meeting, back to back to back. And what tends to happen is those meetings go over. And I found myself toward the end of the year starting every meeting by, sorry I'm late, guys. The last meeting went over. And it was just a very uncomfortable feeling for me, especially when I realized that it had become a pattern. And so what I'm going to try, I'm not going to try to do, this is going to happen, but just remain mindful and start each meeting to make sure people understand very clearly what I'm looking to get out of that meeting, and make sure that I end that meeting 5 minutes before the actual end time so that I can get to my next meeting, which is often in another building or on another floor. And that's just out of respect to the people who are meeting with me. So I guess you could call it refining my punctuality and making sure that other forces don't get in the way of me showing people that I really value, care for, and respect their time. The second is going to feel a little bit nebulous, but it's specific to my job. And that is to get my group more ingrained in our business. So my group is more sort of a checks and balances type of function, but the way that I like to operate is to be part of a process before I have to go in and check and say, hey, would you consider doing this? Or maybe this could be better. And so I can see my group making strides in that direction. And I want to make sure that I do everything to enable my group to continue to do that. So as an example, this week, and by the time I upload this, I'll have been there and back. I was invited at the last minute on a trip to Mexico City, and it's a very operational type of trip where I get to hear a bunch of information, and that will help me do my job better versus those operational conversations happening and then me getting pulled in, at the end of the conversation or once these things have already happened to take a look at something. So I know that that's not super helpful, but I would say to connect that to you guys, maybe look at your individual job and what connections you can make that will allow you to do your job better. Is there a connection that you can make that will allow you to go into a project more informed? Is there a way that you can stay more up to date and abreast of what's going on in your industry, whether that is making sure you read news clips in the morning or, scheduling a cup of coffee with a colleague or maybe an expert in that field, once a quarter to talk about what's going on. So it's really about things like that. And I'm sorry, I'm looking down, but I have notes for sure. The second is kind of a beauty and style professional goal. Sorry, keep looking over there. There's people over there. It's more of a beauty and style professional goal. And it is to plan my outfits the night before or plan my outfits a week in advance. I think I dress pretty well for work, that's for sure. But I was just looking in my closet this morning and I ran across a wrap dress I've never worn because I bought it, put it in my closet and forgot I had it. But if I look at my closet the night before, I've got more time to go through and say, oh, maybe I'll take this out. and pair things a little bit differently. I used to be better about that, but I've gotten away from it. So I definitely want to be intentional about what I'm going to wear, you know, making sure that I dress for my day, which I do anyway. But what that means to me is, do I have any meetings? Do I have any presentations? Am I going to be meeting with, you know, executive leadership? How much walking do I have to do across the campus? Because that's going to affect what type of shoe, whether it's a Louboutin or Valentino day. Valentino being on the more comfortable side, Louboutin being on the less, although I find both comfortable. And, you know, really kind of thinking through what my choices are. Also, I just moved into a new office location, which is chilly. So thinking through putting on layers in the morning. I came recently from California where I just don't have to think about the weather because it's always pretty similar. Besides, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area, am I going to wear a coat or not today? And making sure I have my travel flats. But here in Atlanta, the weather's not crazy, but it's a lot more variable than where I came from. So just making sure that I'm prepared and not freezing in my office without a blazer or a cardigan, or, you know, one that I just leave in my office and have for good measure. So with that, those are my goals for 2018 on both the personal and professional side. I would love to hear about your goals, or if you would like to suggest a goal to me, I am more than happy. I think while you want to make sure that you stick to your goals and you honor your goals, sometimes life changes and priorities shift, and you can't be so ingrained on your goals that you can't incorporate new information. You just want to make sure that you do that in a very honest way. So I'd love to hear what your goals are, or if you have any questions for me about personal and professional and how things are going. I will make it a point to update you guys on how those goals are going quarterly. So around the end of March, we'll talk about how I'm doing related to those goals. I should have a few pounds lost. I should have a couple of personal trips under my belt. And I should be taking very good care of myself. And then also adding those goals on the professional side. So that's it for this video. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. If you would like to hear more about beauty, style, luxury, fashion, career, please subscribe to my channel. I upload probably a couple times a month and cover all of those topics. And again, I thank you for being here and wish you love and light, and we'll see you in the next video.